Now just get your guitar, sit back and enjoy this guitar lesson and start playing guitar. Chords. These are chords. Now since the guitar has more than one string, it can play more than one note at a time. Once you hear the relationship between two notes, you get a chord. Now to hold a chord, you have to hold more than one finger against the correct fret, but you've already learned how to play single notes with each finger. And so you can play different notes and you can make a melody that goes. But now when you have your chords, you can paint this melody with color. The chords kind of paint your melody line with colors. You see it on the diagram below. Notice how the diagrams seem to be inverted. The reason is that we look at the guitar like this and turn them over like this. Notice that when you look down at yourself as well, you see yourself upside down. You see your feet at the top of the frame and your chest at the bottom of the frame. So whenever you look down at the guitar, you see the guitar upside down as well. Now the chords are usually made up of only 3 notes out of the scale. Say we play the chord G, which you can hold like this, or you can hold like this. Now many notes here repeat themselves. You have G, the note G, the root note of the chord over here, and over here, and over here. You have 3 times of the note G in the regular chord G. But you have 3, usually it's a triad. You have 3 notes playing simultaneously and creating a harmony in the relationship between them. The notes are out of the scale, so if this is G, or if you want to hold it like this, or if you want to hold it like this. If this is G, then the scale is G major. G is 1, 2, 3, so 1 and 3 is the first relationship, and then 5. So all the notes in this arrangement are one of these notes at whichever octave you happen to find them. Do, do. So we have G. Now whether you hold the chord like this, or like this, or like this, or like this, or like this, an important thing is to turn the memory of how you hold the chord into muscle memory in your fingers. And there's a good exercise to learn how to do that, and that is holding the chord in whichever way you've decided to hold your chords. I've seen some crazy ways too. But hold your chord, press it as in to play, and then release. Release is in leave your fingers on it, but just release your press. So you press and release, and press and release, and press and release. And you can do that while doing something else. You can do that while watching TV. You can do that while reading a book. You can do that while reading a magazine. Just press and release for a while. And then once you've graduated just pressing and releasing and you feel the chord is kind of sitting where it needs to, you press and release and then lift your fingers just a little bit above the strings and bring them right back, and again press and release and lift and bring your fingers back. And notice when you lift a few things. One thing is that your fingers keep the form of the chord. And also notice how the fingers feel one another. Like my fingers feel each other over here and over here and over here, even when they're not holding the chord. So I can immediately just put it back where it needs to be, and I don't need to think about it. I have it. So just to make this absolutely clear, there is a musical scale. The notes in the musical scale are the palette with which we color our music. They give a certain atmosphere, a certain attitude to the music. If it's music that sounds kind of like this, it's a collection of notes. Now, out of this collection of notes, if we pick out a few, like this, out of this, just these notes are the chord G. The notes are out of the scale, just numbered out of the scale. The notes are 1, 3, and 5. And 1, if I use flat 3 instead of 3, as in 1/2 note below 3, then I have, this is a minor chord. Instead of this, it becomes, it's just the difference between this relationship and this interval relationship. This is an interval of 2 tones. This is the major interval, and the interval of only a tone and a half is the minor interval. Major, minor, major, minor. So if we hear an A major, we can easily notice the difference between that and an A minor. Some chords are minor and major at the same time, and hence sound very funky. Indeed. Chords you can strum. I have a video about strumming you might want to check out. And chords, you can also pick each note individually. They still keep the relationship in the air.